Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to Learn Linux TV. In today's video, what I want to do is talk about the distro hopper. Basically, someone who can't seem to make up their mind when it comes to which distro to use full time. And if you think that description fits, then this video is about you. The thing is, distro hoppers have been shamed over the years, with many people asking, why can't you just make up your mind? Most people seem to think that you should decide on one distro in particular and stick to it. But says who? And why is it that distro hopping is frowned upon in the first place? I mean, did a penguin god descend from the heavens and proclaim, "Thou shalt run only a single distro"? Well, I doubt it, but regardless of the reason, the general consensus in the community is that being a distro hopper is a bad thing. But in today's video, I'm going to make a claim about distro hopping that's going to be quite controversial. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. In fact, in today's video, I'm going to go over some reasons why being a distro hopper is actually a good thing. The thing is, we all love Linux, so why wouldn't we want to explore a bit? After all, we're fascinated by technology and we're curious when it comes to how things work. And as much as we may hate to admit it, distro hopping is enjoyable. Every time we switch distros, it's kind of like opening a Christmas present. We get the same dopamine rush, we're trying something new, and most importantly, we're having fun. But to be fair, a common rebuttal when it comes to distro hopping is that you'll end up wasting a lot of time setting up your computer over and over again. But in today's video, I'm actually going to give you some tips to make distro hopping a bit easier. So join me, distro hopper, as we dive into why distro hopping is a great thing. And first, being a distro hopper will result in faster learning. As you switch between distributions, you'll gain exposure to different technologies and concepts you might not experience otherwise. You'll gain experience with multiple desktop environments, you'll learn multiple installers, and you'll gain more Linux experience in general. However, it's not just about pre-installed software, you'll also learn how various distributions are configured. Perhaps one distro will perform better than another, and ultimately that might lead you to research how a particular distribution was configured. And that gives you a chance to implement those same tweaks on another platform. As a result, you'll start to gain more experience in regard to tuning your system for the best performance, as well as where common configurations are stored. For example, let's say you switch to a distro that utilizes ZRAM and you end up appreciating the performance benefit that it brings. Then maybe you end up switching to a different distribution, maybe one that doesn't include ZRAM by default. And this might lead you to research how ZRAM was enabled with your previous distro, which you could then set up on your current distro. In that example, distro hopping led you to learn ZRAM, which is something you might not have played around with otherwise. And if you use Linux professionally, perhaps a distro that you switch to will include some sort of configuration or tweak in its default shell that increases your overall productivity. And once you learn how it was implemented, you could bring that same tweak with you to another distribution. But it's more than just different defaults and pre-installed software. Distro hopping causes you to learn more about the Linux world in general. You'll end up interacting with more communities, you'll learn more about the purpose behind each distribution and where it fits in within the ecosystem, and you'll also end up being exposed to more technologies. And as a result, you'll gain more knowledge when compared to someone that only ever uses one distro. Continuing, another benefit is that being a distro hopper makes you more adaptable, and ultimately that'll make you a better system administrator. And this is important because, well, things change, and not always for the better. If you've only ever used one distro, and then the maintainers of that distro decide to retire it, you'll end up in a position where you'll suddenly have to learn something new. And even if your distro never shuts down, it may end up changing and going in a direction that you'd rather not be a part of. For example, Ubuntu is currently in the process of migrating to snap packages for software delivery, and it's been a very controversial change. Although I'll save my opinion about snap packages in general for another video, the fact is, some people decided to look at other distros because they didn't feel comfortable with the direction that Ubuntu was going in. And worse, CentOS recently changed directions, shutting down support for its current versions at the time and then proclaiming a newer offering, CentOS Stream, as the path forward. In that situation, many people feel like they had the carpet pulled right from under them. For some users, the newer CentOS Stream distribution was fine, but for others, it wasn't compatible with their workflow. At that point, for them, the only option was to change to something else. And when it comes to distro hoppers, the fact that they're regularly testing different distributions of Linux means that if their current distro does encounter a problem, switching won't be as much of an issue for them since they'll probably end up doing that anyway. But even if an individual does settle down and chooses one distro to rule them all, the knowledge that they've gained is going to be theirs forever. And in that case, even if the distro they decided to settle down with no longer fits their needs, switching would end up being less stressful for them than it might be for others. And believe it or not, most organizations that use Linux are also distro hoppers. Seriously, companies are distro hoppers. It's actually very rare for a company to fully align around a single distribution. In fact, every Linux shop I've ever seen has had multiple distributions running. Even organizations that claim to use just one distro will almost always have a few others running somewhere for some reason. For example, early in my career, I landed a job at a company that told me during the interview that they only used Debian. But when I actually started working there, I discovered that they had a few Red Hat and SUSE installations for various one-off things as well. As my career progressed, and I started working with numerous companies that also use Linux, the reality became all too clear. Single distro shops are incredibly rare. And because of that, distro hoppers end up making better system administrators overall. They're well versed within the ecosystem, and they'll adapt better to mixed environments. Also, if their company ever does encounter a problem with their chosen distro and needs to switch for whatever reason, it's going to be the distro hopper that'll come to the rescue. The reality is that at work, you'll either be a distro hopper yourself or you'll be taking notes from one. We'll get back to the video in just a moment, but I wanted to mention that if you haven't already done so, you should really check out the Learn Linux TV merch shop. After all, if you enjoy this channel, there's a good chance that you'll appreciate the kinds of things that I've put together over at merch.learnlinux.tv. It's all designed with Linux users in mind, not just as branding, but as items that are genuinely useful, fun, or both. And this isn't about pushing merch for the sake of it. I wanted to create things that feel like a natural extension of this channel. Practical references, clean designs, and the occasional inside joke that only really makes sense if you spend a lot of time in the terminal. Basically, it's merch for people who like Linux enough to care about the details. For example, in the shop you'll find the classic apt-install coffee tee, which is perfect for people that enjoy both Linux and coffee, which is probably the majority of my audience. You'll also find shirts that help make it obvious what your favorite distro happens to be, and even if you're indecisive, there's a shirt for that too. You'll also find cheat sheets, ebooks, cups, hats, and a lot more. So if you want to take a look, you'll find everything over at merch.learnlinux.tv. And as always, thank you to everyone that's already supported the channel, whether that's through the shop, watching the videos, or by just being a part of the community. I really appreciate it. And with that out of the way, let's get back to the video. And next, being a distro hopper will actually make you better when it comes to conflict resolution. And no, I'm not talking about Linux packaging conflicts, I'm talking about conflicts with real humans. Whenever a distro decides to make some sort of change to their project, that change will usually be announced across all of the Linux-related blogs out there in order to let everyone know. But that's only the end of the story. Distro maintainers have discussions and even debates leading up to that change, and that discussion is usually out in the open. And that means you can not only learn about what a proposed change actually does, you can read the entire discussion string to discover why the project decided to make that change in the first place. And naturally, as you hop around between distros, you'll encounter all kinds of project-specific changes and decisions, and that'll ultimately lead you to read more about why those decisions were made. And along the way, you'll see that some of these debates can get quite involved, to put it nicely, but ultimately, you'll be able to get a better understanding when it comes to the mindsets on both sides of a disagreement, as well as the eventual conclusion that was reached. Sometimes a decision that a project makes will be quite controversial, but it's much more understandable if you learn where the developers' mindsets were at when the change was made. When it comes to distro hoppers, they'll encounter many differences from one distro or software project to another, and be able to have a better overall understanding regarding why things are the way they are. And considering that most Linux software is developed within a community, you'll learn more about how conflicts are resolved and how a project reaches middle ground. And as you become more active within the Linux community itself, you'll take these lessons with you as you communicate with other users in other communities. And not only that, this will give you practice that might even help you resolve personal conflicts within your daily life as well. But even if not, having a better understanding regarding what's important to others will help you understand multiple worldviews. Another thing I want to talk about is mental health. It's really important, but not everyone takes it seriously. Now, I know you might be wondering why I'm talking about mental health in a Linux video, but actually, being a distro hopper might improve your overall mental well being. The thing is, we all have a special activity or something that brings us joy, perhaps a passion project or some sort of activity that takes us away from the daily stresses in life. Some people restore classic cars, others build model railroads in their basement, or even escape from stress by picking up a game controller to transport themselves to a fantasy universe. But regardless of what your favorite pastime happens to be, it is important to take time for yourself. And when it comes to distro hopping, we need to see it for what it is, a hobby. For some of us, trying a new Linux distro represents a similar escape. It gives us some time where we can sit down in peace and quiet by ourselves and try something new, to dabble, to explore. At that moment, we're getting the same dopamine rush as anyone else spending time on their hobby. If we force ourselves to stick to just one distro, we might end up robbing ourselves of something that might have been quite enjoyable. And as humans, we all need this, and having a hobby of any kind is beneficial to our well-being. And when it comes to mental health, I'm a big fan of something that I call reset time. It's a period of time in which there's no noises or distractions, it's just you and whatever you feel like doing at the moment. If you spend time working with something that brings you joy, you'll find that other aspects of your life will also improve. You'll experience lower anxiety, you'll manage stress better, and most importantly, you'll be having fun. So why stop being a distro hopper and potentially rob yourself of that joy? Now, so far in this video, I talked a lot about the benefits of distro hopping, but to be fair, there are some downsides as well. For example, you'll be setting up your computer over and over again, and that might represent a lot of extra work. But what I'm going to do in this section is give you some tips that'll make the process of distro hopping a little bit easier. One of the bigger time traps is backing up your data and copying everything over to a new system. If you're one of those people that keeps everything in the cloud, then I guess this won't really impact you that much, if at all. However, if you do have a fair amount of data that you've saved over time, transferring files to a new system can take a while. To make this easier, maybe you'll consider installing each distro with your home directory on its own separate partition. That way, you can remove, reinstall, or change your distro partition without affecting your data at all. Each time you switch, you'll instruct the installer to use your existing home partition, and all of your data will be exactly where you left it. Now, this doesn't eliminate the need for backups, though, especially since it's really easy to accidentally format all of your partitions during installation. But as long as you're careful and you have good backups, you'll be able to retain all of your data between Linux installs. But how you go about setting this up depends on the distribution, but most of them have an option in the installer where you can tweak individual partitions. In some cases, when you get to the partitioning section of the installer, you'll find an advanced button, and that's probably what you're looking for. But in general, whenever you install Linux, you'll simply point the installer to an existing home partition. And as you get more advanced, you might even look into roaming profiles, which is where you have a central network storage server that contains all of your files, and then you'll configure a network share that your distribution will use as your home directory. Now, it is a bit more advanced, but it's yet another thing that you can consider learning as you switch distros. But even if you don't plan on enabling roaming profiles, you can still use a network-attached storage server as a target for regular backups or even file syncing. For example, I don't use roaming profiles myself, but what I do use is a tool called SyncThing. I have SyncThing installed on my NAS, and whenever I switch distros, I simply install SyncThing and have it sync with a server, and all of my files are then copied to their respective directories. This works quite well for me, but as you navigate your Linux journey, maybe you'll also use SyncThing, or perhaps you'll come up with another solution. And speaking of syncing, most popular web browsers nowadays include some sort of sync feature, which will ensure your bookmarks and history stay backed up and synchronized between machines. All you have to do is enable syncing within your browser of choice, and then your browsing data will follow you around as you distro hop. Now, I know setting up sync within your browser probably goes without saying, but it does legitimately save you time. But all in all, if you're a distro hopper, you should be proud. It means you are passionate and curious, so stop fighting it and learn to enjoy it. And there's our video. In today's video, we explored some of the ways in which being a distro hopper is actually beneficial. In fact, it's my hope that this video causes people to accept that and to enjoy being a distro hopper. But either way, what did you think of this video or distro hopping in general? Let me know in the comments down below. I look forward to reading what you guys have to say. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.